On this week's live stream, we visit an elite Swedish game design academy. Stormy weather for Mr. T as he tries to navigate cloud variables. And we talk about the future of the Chromeworks co-op program. All this and more coming up on the Chromeworks live stream. Hey, it's Mr. T back again. Long time no see, world. I've been on a very lengthy trip to Stockholm, Sweden, as some of you guys might know, where I was dropping my kid off to start university. A very exciting day for both of us, but I'm happy to be back. What an interesting country Sweden is. Fascinating place with amazing examples of urban planning. Like the transit system out there is amazing. The bicycle path system is amazing. The way everyone's kind of grouped up together. Everyone there lives in apartment buildings, which is really interesting. You can find almost no single family houses in there. It's very compact, and that makes as much as we love our suburbs out here in North America, it makes everyone close to each other, which means that you can have subway stations every couple of blocks. And no matter where you go in the city, you're always close to transit. I never waited more than 5 minutes to get onto a train or a tram or a bus. The three kinds of commuter trains going through the city that all deliver people to different places. It's really an amazing place to visit. So happy to be back. I'm coming to you with a full report on my adventure in Sweden, mostly focusing on Jeffrey and what he's been up to up there, and that's coming up in a minute. I'll also be talking to you guys about the Chromeworks co-op program, which is starting up again. I've got a couple of new co-op students joining me in the next couple of weeks, and I'm very excited, and I'm looking for ideas for what to do with them. Lastly, I am just so frustrated with cloud variables in Scratch. I wanted to do a little rant about it today. I spent probably 20 hours in the last couple of days experimenting with cloud variables, trying to figure out why they work sometimes and why they don't. And I'm still as mystified as I've ever been about that. So I've got a full video report on that, and I'll be doing some live demos here as well to kind of show you guys what's going on. And maybe someone out there knows more than I do, because I'm seriously looking for help. So it's very, very quiet out here on the internet land. I think most people don't even realize I'm back from vacation. But so there is no one on stage with me in Discord this morning. Absolutely nobody, which just makes me really sad. Anyway, I'll get over it. And I've spoken before to an empty room, so no big deal. Hopefully some people will be watching this taped later. I did have a visit earlier on YouTube from someone named Top Secret Asian. Hi, if you're still watching Top Secret Asian, and please leave us a little chat message. Tell us who you are, just a little bit. You don't have to give anything personal away, but maybe how old you are and what city you live in, just so we can know where our students are coming from. I'm always very interested in that. All right, let's get right to it, guys. As I said, I don't have a big community joining me here today, but I'm always happy to run this show by myself, as I've been doing many times in the past. So let's get started with my trip to Stockholm, Sweden. So, as I said, my mission there was to drop Jeffrey off and get him ready to go to school. Oh, Top Secret Asian has written back. He says, my name is Andy, and I'm from grade 11. Oh! Now, is this Andy from the co-op program? Sorry, I think I had you confused with, you probably told me your nickname before. Anyway, yeah, so I am joined by Andy, who's co-op student, and so he's watching the broadcast at least. Is the audio looking good? I just want to make sure the audio mix is right, Andy. Oh, and I'm also joined now by Deck from London, England. Good morning, Deck. Nice to hear from you again. Are you there, buddy? No, doesn't look like it. Anyway, so Deck is with us in the Discord chat, and maybe I'll have something to say later. Anyway, back to Sweden again. So, yeah, I had a really fantastic time in Sweden. It's a fascinating country. As I said, mostly my job there was to drop Jeffrey off and get him all set up. We had to find an apartment for him, find a way to for him to get to and from school, and it took some time to explore the city, and especially checked out the high-tech scene, which I'm going to be talking about in just a minute in my video report. Here's the Royal Palace. Stockholm is actually home to the King of Sweden, and so I checked out the Royal Palace there. Just lovely scenery out there. A beautiful old city that dates back to the Middle Ages. There's actually some buildings there that come back from the 1200s. And there was one pub I passed that said they've been around since the 1500s. Just amazing to be around. There's Jeffrey's new school, Future Games. It's in a beautiful office tower. And really looking forward to showing you a little bit more about what's going on there. Okay, I won't bother you with the slideshow anymore. Let's get right into my interview with Jeffrey and a little description of what I was up to in Stockholm. Here we go right now. Welcome to Stockholm, capital city of Sweden and home to more than 1 million people. This is an ancient place, home to the fabled Vikings, but also a thriving hub of technology, home to some of Europe's biggest game development and software companies. Gaming companies with offices in downtown Stockholm include Mojang Games, the fabled birthplace of Minecraft; Dice Games, the EA subsidiary that makes Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront; Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite; and Paradox Interactive, makers of the genre's biggest strategy games like Hearts of Iron and Sims like City Skylines. Our destination today is right in the heart of downtown Stockholm, in a gigantic plaza called Medborgarplatz. Taking up the top floor of this gleaming office tower is Future Games, a private coding academy that some independent reviewers call one of the top game development academies in the world. The Future Games office is a rabbit warren of classrooms, all stuffed with cutting-edge, double-monitor gaming computers. Every student gets their own PC that they can load with whatever software they choose, and they can access this facility 24/7 with a key card. We're here today to meet my son, Jeffrey Tomek, who left his home in Ottawa at the beginning of September to start a 2-year video game design course at Future Games. Well, I'm joined here by Swedish gaming student Jeffrey Tomek. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Hello.
So, how have your first couple of weeks in Sweden been going?
Pretty good. It's been really hectic, going across the world and such. Lost my luggage along the way, but it's all been recovered, and it's good now. And yeah, anyway, it's a lot of, moving to a new country and living alone and stuff like that. It's just a whole big adjustment, but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's a bit of an adventure. I'm really excited for you anyway. So, So tell me about the school Future Games. I referred to it at the beginning as Hogwarts for Computer Geeks a little bit, and I don't know, do you agree with my assessment of it?
I can see that comparison. It's definitely like, it doesn't feel much like a school. Like it's very open in how you can do things there, and I just feel like I'm in a space where I can just work with people and do productive stuff all day. But it's not when it comes to like tests and stuff like that, it's really not that kind of school. It's a lot more like projects and just the kind of stuff that I was doing as a hobbyist at home, except now I'm doing it in a more professional environment with other like-minded people.
Cool. Tell me about the advice they gave you on the first day of class.
Yeah. So one of the first things they told us, and something they keep emphasizing, is that we need to be playing more video games, especially because you all at home are probably playing about that standard of them, but especially students who are doing a lot of work and stuff tend to drop off from playing enough games, and they really don't want that to happen, because if you're going to make video games, you should know what all the other ones on the market play like.
Excellent. So what video games are you playing right now?
I was just playing The Surge 2 a few minutes ago.
Okay.
That one's been quite a lot of fun. Deathloop came out recently.
Yeah,
I've been playing that a little bit.
I've been hearing a lot about Deathloop. What's that? How's that working?
It's okay. I'm disappointed by it. I thought it would be a lot better than it is. It's kind of okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so school is mostly working on your own or working with partners. Is there a lot of classroom time?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said so. School is mostly working independently and in small groups. Are your teachers very involved in your education right now?
Um, Right now, not a ton, but it also teachers don't really perform the same role at future games. Like they are called teachers still, but it's they don't actually do much teaching. The people that teach are the mentors.
Hmm.
And so the mentors aren't in so far haven't even been in the classroom. It's right now we're in a part of the school where a lot of people have a lot of different experience because we got guys coming in that are narrative designers, and people that are like level designers, narrative designers. Then there's people like me that are more technically oriented, but all of us need to learn some basic programming if we don't already know it. But of course they don't want to have like someone like me being forced through early programming education, so it's very self-directed right now. And our current mentor is just has a bunch of like pre-recorded stuff and then hops on to talk to us over Discord and help us out with what we're doing.
So the
And
mentors are industry people. Is that am I remembering?
yes,
Yeah.
the mentors don't actually work for the school. I believe they're like contracting out as like part-time teachers effectively. So everybody who's a mentor is somebody who's like been making games professionally.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
And so you haven't had a chance to work with them much yet, but that sounds like an exciting
Yeah.
prospect.
So yeah, for like the right now it's pretty basic stuff. We're like it's going quick, but we're ramping up over time. I'm just in the first few weeks right now, so there hasn't there's a lot of like catch up that a lot of people are doing,
Hmm.
and most of the teaching has been directed towards just helping people get caught up
Right.
in their programming and Unity and stuff like that. And hopefully, like when everybody's up to it, I think things are going to really start speeding up, and it's going to be a lot more like intense lectures, stuff like that. We've already had a bunch of industry people come in and talk to us about different things in gaming. We had a group come in and talk to us about accessibility options in games.
Right.
And how different games handle stuff like subtitles. It's not super exciting stuff, but it is actually pretty interesting how much thought gets put into it.
Cool. Cool. So you're living and working in a brand new country. How's that all been working out for you? What's really different about living there from living in Canada?
Um, well, I mean, as far as it goes in Europe, Sweden's probably as close to Canada as you're going to get. There's a lot of there's a lot of parallels to the extent that now every time I go on the internet, I see ads about immigrating to Canada now that I'm on Swedish internet. And a lot of the people I've talked to are like, "Oh, I've always thought about going to Canada, or I've been to Canada and stuff like that." There's a lot of crossover. So it's not like mind-shatteringly different. It's really just but it is like there's a good few changes. The food here is a lot of things are a little more expensive, and some things are weirdly cheap, and some things are really high quality too. Like the bread and stuff is great. There's they for all you at home, if you'd probably be interested in the fact that if you ever been to like a bulk barn where they have uh, candy that you just like scoop out across like aisles. In Sweden, every grocery store next to the checkout has just like these big scoop out things of candy where it's just all
Candy.
sitting out there, and then you can just grab a big shovel and put some into a bag. Mm,
Okay, well,
yeah.
you're gonna
Mm.
have all my kids running to move to Sweden now. Okay, well that's
Um,
great. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'm yet to eat Swedish candy, but I've heard it's some of the best.
Awesome,
Mm,
awesome.
yeah.
All right, well, something to look forward to. Anyway, we look forward to hearing more about your adventures at gaming school, Jeffrey. Hopefully, we can have you back on from time to time to give us updates on how things are going for you. But in the meantime, good luck in your great adventure here. We're all very excited and rooting for you back at home.
Yeah, it's been nice catching up. And I'm sure I'll be back another time soon. Well, especially when things get a little more exciting to
Yeah.
talk about how everything's going.
Yeah, we'll be back on maybe in a couple of weeks to look at your first gaming project and how that's coming along, and we're excited to see that.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Jeffrey. Nice talking to you, and we'll catch you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
See you around.
Or muted here, sorry. Sorry about that. I was muted for my audience on YouTube. Let's go back to that again. So that was Jeffrey, who's studying in an elite Swedish gaming academy. Very excited to be getting reports from him. We'll be talking some more as he continues on with his education here. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how Jeffrey got here. I know a lot of you guys out in the real world are really excited about the idea of possibly working yourself in the video game industry. No one's ever played a serious video game without at least pondering the idea of making it. And that's what we're all about here at Chromeworks. The idea of giving kids the power that they need to make the things that are in their imagination. It's a concept called hard fun in educational circles, and that's what I really want to emphasize to you today. The things that are the most meaningful to you, that you get the most fun and the most excitement out of, are not the easy things, it's the hard things. Teach yourself to do something really difficult, and in the end, the satisfaction that you're going to get out of it in your life and the doors that it's going to open for you are unfathomable. So Jeffrey started gaming when he was probably 6 or 7 years old. I mean, he started as a little baby on my lap watching me play video games. And the minute I started coding with him at about age 7 or 8, his mind just exploded with the possibilities of doing creative stuff and of being able to make things in his imagination come true. And Scratch does that so easily by creating this environment where just a few presses of a button and you can automatically be making sound effects and moving characters around. You don't have to be an expert to start this coding in Scratch. And from there, the sky's the limit. Jeffrey started working in Unity from there and just started making his own games. And anything he needed to know, he researched on the internet. I taught him almost nothing after we got him started in Scratch. And from there, he just went to town on his own. So by working really hard over the course of many years, he got himself into this amazing opportunity where he's now learning at one of the most prestigious gaming schools around in Sweden. And he's in a foreign country having an amazing time. So I'm out here to tell you right now that you can do something amazing with your lives as well. It doesn't have to be coding or gaming, but it does have to be something that's a little bit hard. If you stick with the shallow water in your life, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to figure out a way to work hard and find something that you love and go run with it. So if you can do that for me, you'll make Mr. T very proud. So I'm joined by some more people here. Chu from Malaysia has joined us here. He's an 11-year-old student from Malaysia. He says he loves Scratch. What does it say? What does he say about himself here? He says, I'm a student from Malaysia and I like Scratch because it's kind of fun and it needs to use your brain. That's exactly what I was just talking about, right? Absolutely. So welcome to Chu. He's been watching Jeffrey's adventure here too, and he's excited about it as well. Well, we will be bringing you more information in the about Jeffrey's work with the Game Academy, future games a little bit in the future. I'll be coming back with some more reports on the kind of project he's been working on, and should be interesting. So I had a message here from Dean Yates. He says, good morning. Yes, I was muted for the first couple of minutes. I think I'm good now, though. So I think we're good to go here with this. I'm also joined here by Deck, who I think is finally ready to talk. He says he's got something cool to tell me. Deck, are you available? Deck? All right, you jump in when you get a minute, Deck. Oh, there
Hi,
you are.
Mr. T.
Hi, Deck. So, Deck from
Right.
England, what
Yeah.
do you have to tell me?
So yeah, at school, they're doing this robotics thing, and I've joined it, and um, it's where you have to build a robot, and you give a specific task that it needs to do, and generally it's called Vex Robotics,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, it's a competition where they give you a game, and you have to say like put the most balls in a container, and yeah, and there's also an autonomous section where the robot has to do it itself,
Mm-hmm.
and that you have to code, and the language you can either do C++ or you can use a different language. It's just like Scratch, like
Excellent.
blocks. So yeah,
Right.
it's
Oh,
really cool. Yeah.
wow, that's really cool. If you have an opportunity, Deck, please shoot some video and send us a little video, and we'll do a little segment on the robotics that you've been doing if you're interested. I'd love to hear more about it and actually see some things.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Deck. I'm also joined here by Gray Fours 24682, who I haven't renamed properly. I think you're one of my co-op students, right? Can you just let me know in the chat, ask Mr. T who you are? I think it might be Abraham, but I just want to make sure that I don't get your
It's
name wrong.
Grayson.
It's Grayson? Oh, okay. Are you? Oh,
Yes.
Grayson. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get the name right. Yeah, you're one of our new members. You're not a co-op
Yeah.
student though, right? You're one of our new members. I'm just going to
I
rename
don't
you.
think the co-op
Yeah,
at first
yeah. I'm going to
level. So yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to just rename you here in the chat so I don't get you confused again. Everyone on my server uses real names, and so I just temporarily override the name. Okay, Grayson, nice to have you here, buddy. So, okay. I am, unless Grayson has anything to say, I'm going to move on here. I know you guys are eager to do some coding with me, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about cloud variables. Grayson, have you ever used cloud variables?
Yeah.
Have you found them a little bit
As
frustrating or at all, or are they working fine for you?
sometimes, yeah, sometimes they're like kind of frustrating. Example, like multiplayer games, you have to like kind of get creative
Mm-hmm.
with how you want to like send the multiplayer data because if you just like do set cloud variable x to like your x position, and you do that in like just a forever loop, um, is not smooth at all. It's like I think that like the cloud variables transmit at like the maximum of like 15 ticks a second. So
Yeah, I think it might
uh,
actually be 10 ticks a second, actually.
I think
So
it's 10.
yeah, quite slow. So I was watching a Griff patch tutorial a while ago, and one of the things he was doing to speed things up was he was taking all the entire data packet because there's only one piece of information once every tenth of a second. So if you send X, your X coordinate gets sent in the 1/10 of a second, and then the Y doesn't come until a tenth of a second later, and then whatever other variables. So if you have multiple variables, it just takes forever. So he's compressing all of the data into one line of numbers, basically, and then using
Yeah.
that to send it out. And I'm going to be talking some more about that in the future, but anyway, what I really wanted to talk about today is some flaky stuff that's going on with cloud variables that has been confusing the heck out of me. And if anyone else has seen it, I'd love to know. Let's get over my gaming screen here and show you what's going on. So this is my multiplayer gaming engine. It was the basis of a tutorial that I did about 6 months ago, and it is my most popular tutorial possibly ever, number one or number two on my list. I've had over 8,000 views for this, and every day now a new 100 or 150 people use this tutorial. I didn't even write this code myself. It was something I wanted to learn, so I found an existing tutorial by Colorless Wing Studio and started working on it. But if you look down on the comments here, you can see that there's lots of people who think this is fantastic, and then other ones who it just isn't working for. Hold it. I'm not seeing any of the comments here. Yeah, I think maybe let me max this screen out here. No, I'm not seeing any of the comments here. If we go looking back on the YouTube channel where this thing is, there's tons of comments there, though. Do I have the YouTube up? No. All right, I was just about to show you guys a video report that kind of has some clips and stuff like that as well. But so half the people who use it say, thank you, I can't believe you taught me how to do this. I'm so grateful for that. Well, here's some messages. And then so my latest message this morning was someone saying that they loved it and it was fantastic. Oh, that was a YouTube comment. And then other people are saying, this doesn't work. I tried a countless number of times and it still doesn't work. The tutorial doesn't do what it says. And I've got like dozens of messages like this, people saying that it just doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. Now, the program does work, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I prepared a little kind of video report here that kind of explains what my issues have been. Oh, we're joined by funny animator Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hello, sorry, I was a bit late.
No troubles. So this is the part I actually wanted your input on because I know you've made multiplayer games. I've made a little report here on some of the issues I've been having with multiplayer with my multiplayer gaming engine on Scratch and some of the issues I've had with cloud variables. So I'm going to play that right now, and I'm especially interested in your input because I know you've done some work on this, Jim. So let me get right to
Should I try joining?
Join the game? Yeah, you can, but actually I'm not playing right now. Actually, yeah, if you you can join. I'm going to leave the message and ask Mr. T here. This is the actual address.
And like the reason people might be complaining it's not working is probably because they're a new scratcher.
No, I thought that's what it was too, but
And
there's more to it. It has to do, Grayson, with remixing the game. Chu says he has
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered that problem where you remix a game and it stops working?
Yeah, with the cloud variables, you have to kind of reset them and do different kinds of things.
It's more complicated even than that, though. So let's carry on this conversation after you guys watch my little video because it kind of explains a little more detail what's going on here. So just hang tight for that. So what the heck is going on with cloud variables in Scratch? I've spent a good part of this week trying to sort out a technical glitch that a bunch of users have been reporting to me on one of my most popular projects. There's a tutorial video I created way back in March called Create a Multiplayer Game in Scratch. Or code a multiplayer game in Scratch. And it's absolutely been one of my most popular videos. It has more than 8,000 views already and climbing every day. But increasingly, I just keep getting emails and messages on YouTube saying, dude, I tried this and it just does not work. What's wrong? And then I go and test it, and it seems to work fine for me. So I'm kind of at my wit's end here. I've done some testing today and yesterday as well, trying to sort out under what circumstances this cloud variable thing works and when it doesn't. So cloud variables, again, are variables that are created inside of Scratch that are only available to you when you're an actual verified Scratcher. Maybe you've been part of the Scratch community for long enough that they're going to trust you with the power to make these special variables. And what's special about cloud variables is any information that you store while you're playing the game in one of these variables can be seen by other players who are playing the game as well. So you can use that for all kinds of practical purposes. Mostly it's used for high score tables so that you can see how other people are doing at the game that you're playing right now. But one of the great potentials for this is multiplayer gaming. If you can take a variable like your X and Y coordinate and pass it along to somebody else who's playing the game, you can position your character so that it's moving around relative to somebody else's character, and that way you can actually both be playing a game together. But that's assuming that the technology works, and increasingly it's not. So people are just writing me saying, dude, this doesn't work at all, and they're really confused by it. I've done some tests today. I wanted to show you guys some examples of the kind of things that are going on with cloud variables that I'm a little bit confused about. And I'm hoping somebody out there in the community can set me straight and tell me what I'm doing wrong. But I suspect what we're really encountering here is an actual bug in the software. So let's have a deeper look at that right now. So you can see on the screen here I've got a split screen going, where on the left I'm logged in as Mr. Tomek, my default account. Over on the right I'm in an incognito window, which lets me log into a second totally unrelated Scratch account. So I've got an account here called Chromeworks 1 that I'm logged into right now. So the code here is very straightforward. You can see that I've just created a cloud variable called test variable, and I've set it up so that it goes to 0 when we click the green flag, and every time I click it, it increments up by 1. And you can see as I click on the cat in the left-hand window, the variable in the right-hand window, which, as remember, is logged into a totally different account, is also getting that new updated location of that variable, or that updated value of that variable. Now, that all seems to work fine when I'm working within the original project, but when I take the second player, Chromeworks 1, and make him remix the project so that he can put his own spin on it, as many of my users have done, what ends up happening is the variable no longer changes. If I load both the remix version back into my Mr. Tomek screen and then run both versions of the program, the numbers should be going up the way we just watched, but in this case, the numbers are totally independent of each other. They've turned into global variables that are unique to each game, and there's no cloud connection to them at all. What happens to turn this off? I'm really a little bit confused by this, because everything looks like it's basically the same. All they did was remix the game and use the exact same bit of code. So I was told that, I looked at this up on some user forums, and I was told that if I swapped out the variables, that might solve the problem. And so I tried that, and that did absolutely no good. So I took the existing code in the remix and made a couple of totally new variables and plunked that into the code, and still no luck. The version of the project that I was loading on the one end didn't match up with what was happening on the other, despite the fact that they're both the identical file, and in the earlier test they'd worked perfectly. What was really strange, though, is then I went and started a brand new project and just reran the same experiment from the beginning, where I created a cloud variable and a different cloud variable, and saved it, added the same click to increment code, and then shared it and sent it off to the other player, to Mr. Tomek. And again, it didn't work anymore. And in fact, I couldn't get it working anymore. No matter how many times I tried, the cloud variable was not going up anymore, until I waited half an hour or so and came back to my computer again after getting really frustrated. And then suddenly it was working again. So it seems like this is a problem that shuts itself off and then starts itself up again. And if you do the wrong thing, you can kind of break the cloud variables, and they just refuse to work for a while, and then suddenly they start working again. So I'd love your thoughts and advice on this, user community. If anyone can actually give me any thoughts on how to fix this problem, and whether there is a predictable way to do this. What the basic position we're in here is, if you play my version of the multiplayer game that's totally unmodified, it seems like it works pretty consistently as long as you've got two different user accounts checking what's going on. But as soon as you try to remix the game and turn it into your own project, which was the whole point of this exercise in the first place, then everything starts to break down. At least for some users it does. Lots of people are telling me that it works just fine. So please share your thoughts on this, user community. If you want to drop me an email at info@chromeworks.ca, or just leave me a comment in this video description. I would love to hear your thoughts on what's going on with cloud variables and what we can do to solve this problem, so I have some more happy customers here. I don't like putting out projects that don't work. It's a little embarrassing, frankly, and I'm just hoping that we can find some kind of a workaround that gets this running again. Okay, guys. So I'm online here with funny animator Jim, who's working, who's the red player in my multi-player gaming engine here. I'm the blue, so when I move my arrow keys, the blue moves around. And as you can see, look, no hands. Jim is actually moving this away, so he's a couple of 100 miles away from me in upstate New York, and he's able to work his end of the game properly. So everyone who's saying it doesn't work, I think this is your confirmation that it does in fact work. So why does it break down, and what is going on with these cloud variables? I wanted to just give you guys a live demo of the exact same thing I did online a couple of minutes ago, and just to show you, like, in real time, because I think this happens so predictably that I can do it almost any time, though knowing my luck here, it might not work this time. So again, I've got an incognito window. That's really important. If you're going to test on one computer, the second computer has to be logged in incognito, and that allows you to have two different Scratch accounts going at once. So in this case, I've got Chromeworks 1 up here at the top. Over on the left, I've got Mr. Tomek running. So I've created a very simple program that I showed you before. It's the exact same one I showed you in the video here. And the idea is when green flag clicked, we just reset that cloud variable. And every time I click the cat, it changes that cloud variable by 1. So let's get that running over in the other screen. So all I'm going to do is I've shared the project already. I'm going to copy it over to the other window where I'm logged in as Chromeworks 1. And I should have the project there now. There we go. And let me just cram it over a little so you guys can see what's going on here a little bit better. No, that doesn't work. All right. Anyway, so I've got my cloud variable here at 0 and here at 0. And now let's try clicking on the cat. And you can see that my cloud variable is up at 6 now. And my cloud variable is at 0 for Chromeworks 1. Chromeworks 1 is, in fact, a Scratcher account. Let me look at the profile here just to confirm it, you guys. Scratcher, right? So we're both loading the same project, and now, for some reason, the cloud variables are disconnected. It started doing this weird behavior after I remixed my game and broke the cloud variables, and then since then I haven't been able to get it running again, even when I start a brand new project. So what is going on with this? So Jim or Grayson or anybody else out there in the community have any thoughts on this at all?
So that first project was the remix or
Sorry.
or a brand new project?
So yeah, so what I did was I made the game, tested it. I made this project, the one you're looking at on the screen right now. I tested it. It worked properly. Then I remixed it and gave it back to the other player again. So the other player, I told him to remix it. So I had Chromeworks 1 remix it, save the file, and then it stopped working. And then I tried subbing in the variables and putting new cloud variables in. It still didn't work. Then I went back to my original computer, made a brand new project, and that no longer worked either. Like, my cloud variables on this project do not work anymore. And
Wait, so go in the variables tab on this one,
on the left
in the
computer,
variables section, and try to. So we're gonna try to. If you try to rename that variable, what happens?
okay, so let's go
Try to rename it.
cloud variable.
Oh, okay. So what I thought it was that there would be a cloud emote like in there, like, because then that would have proven that it was a fake cloud variable. So yeah, and I'm thinking about it. The reason why I haven't had a problem like this with remixing is that whenever I would try to use a cloud engine, I would always backpack it and then put it in my project. And in that case, what we had to do was create the cloud variables in our project beforehand. And then when we backpack them and bring it into the project, then it can use those cloud variables. So then it doesn't have to like create the cloud variables on its own, and then it can use them.
Right. So I'm I still cannot figure out a way to fix this. Like, let me demo this for you one more time. I'm going to do this right from the very beginning. So I'm going to start a brand new cloud project.
Okay.
One interesting thing is I'm getting this cloud variable note again on my screen. Is it maybe because of the incognito
Yeah,
window?
that happens every time, I think.
No, but I'm not using cloud variables. I thought that warning only came up when I use cloud variables.
Oh.
So maybe it's the incognito window that's messing me up here. All right, so now I'm going to go make a cloud variable. I'm going to call
I think you could just use it on the same account.
Really?
And yeah.
So
Or
maybe
did you make in your multiplayer game? Did you make it so two of the same user can't log on at once?
no, I never did create that. So I could theoretically get a second Scratch window open here with my Mr. Tomek account. And,
Yes.
All right, and I could play the game that way. Let's have a look here.
Just make sure you're wait.
All right, so let me.
You created two new projects.
Yeah. So let me try making a brand new project here. I'm going to make a test variable. I'm going to make sure it's a cloud variable. I'm going to go OK. Now I'm just going to code this to change test by 1 every time I click on the cat. And
Okay.
so there we go. And you can see that the number is going up every time I click on the cat. Now I'll share the project, Untitled 672, and I'll. Sorry, you wanted to say something?
And then make sure you reload the original one.
Reload the original one.
Yeah,
Okay.
just reload it.
Yeah, okay. All right. So there we are, our cloud variables at 8. Let's start this version here. Our cloud variables at 8. And now it's going up properly.
Okay, that worked.
Okay. So could it be...
I wonder why it didn't work before.
I have a feeling that even though I'm in an incognito window, it's somehow affecting it. The smoking gun here is the fact that when I started a brand new project, I got a warning about cloud variables, which I shouldn't have had. You know what? I just actually think I figured this out online. I don't know, but anyway, there are some serious issues with this. Now let me try remixing this project. So I'm going to have, I'm going to try signing out of this and signing back in as Chromeworks 1.
And make sure you reload the original two after you do that, so that you don't have two accounts open.
Okay, all right, so I'm in under Chromeworks 1 here. So so one more time, before I load this into Chromeworks 1 here, you're saying I should reload this version of the game again on the left?
Yeah, so you log out.
Okay. There we go. Oh, but now I'm logged into Chromeworks 1 on this side because I'm not incognito, right? That's okay, though. So I should be able to see it on both sides. Hold it. So this is the original Mr. Tomek version of the game, but I was going to remix it.
Yeah,
right?
so now you can remix it right there.
Yeah, okay, so let's remix it. All right, but now I have to take the remixed and I'll share it. And now the remixed and shared version of the game, I'll copy over to the right-hand window here where Chromeworks 1 is already running.
And reload the other page.
Reload the other page.
Yeah.
All right, and now it's working properly.
Oh wow, it worked. Oh wait. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I can barely see the numbers.
Yeah, sorry. So the numbers are going up.
Maybe it had to do with the reloading. I didn't think the reloading would work, but
yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yes,
so this isn't the same sort of test bed that I was testing this on. I was mostly doing it with, but actually I did do this using. I pulled out my Chromebook and also had me logged into 2 different accounts on a totally different computer, and that didn't fix it either. I got into some real trouble with that. So
maybe the other thing could have been that you were seeing inside. You were seeing inside before, and it thought you were trying to save the cloud variables. That could have been another thing.
yeah. So we've got a new user on here, Fahim Asiraf. Fahim Asiraf bin Amihad Shahan. What? Oh, okay. Anyway, he's wondering what's going on here and what we're doing. And I would just wanted to tell the rest of the audience we're testing out cloud variables and some weird problems we've been having with cloud variables. If you joined us late here, it seems like if you remix games, you introduce this possibility that your cloud variables will lose their connection. So what I've basically learned here is that you need to absolutely reload your game before you start running your test. That seems to be a good piece of advice. What other advice can we offer Scratch users to avoid this problem?
If you're going to borrow some cloud scripts, you should probably not remix it, but backpack the sprite or the scripts, and then before you drag it into your project, you should create the cloud variables that it's using. And then when you drag it in, it's already going to be set up to use those variables, and then you won't have any problems. Like it's going to try and create fake variables or whatever.
Oh, so if the variables already exist when you drag the thing out of your backpack, then it won't create new ones. It'll just use the ones you've created. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Well,
excellent.
make sure it has to have the exact name.
Okay. Yeah. No,
It
of
has to
course.
be a cloud variable.
Okay. All right. Well, this is good advice anyway. So anyone out at home who's been struggling with trying to remix my multiplayer gaming engine and get multiplayer going properly, following this kind of advice might be really useful. Backpacking your scripts and making sure to reload your project before you run it. Anyway, I think we've demonstrated today that this does work if you do it under the right conditions. And there's just some really flaky things going on with cloud variables that we need to watch out for. So any other comments at all from the peanut gallery here? All right. Let's move on. I just had one more thing that I wanted to cover today, and that was I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my co-op program. So I am bringing a bunch of co-op students aboard again this quadmester. I've tried all kinds of different stuff with them. Basically, it's free labor. I've got about 20 hours of free labor from each of my co-op students, and I can get them working on anything that helps out Chromeworks, which means creating tutorials for you guys, maybe doing online activities with you guys on Discord, maybe doing more live streaming or whatever like that. There's things we can do with this free labor that I have deployed here that I'd love to see what you can do. I compiled a little clip here that just has a summary of some of the stuff that people have already been working on. This isn't, I just wanted to do it in my video editor just so that we didn't have to jump back and forth between stuff. So I just have a couple of little clips here and I just was gonna run them and comment a little bit on this. Oh, so...
Hey everyone. So last week, if you remember, I showed you how I made a beatmaker game on Scratch.
So a lot of the things that people have been doing is taking an interest in one particular area. Like Kalen here was really fascinated by making music in Scratch, and so he made a bunch of tutorials for us related to music, and we named it and made it a segment called the music studio. And so he started making music stuff for us. He also did this boy band thing.
Your own boy band on this online software.
So he did a whole lesson on how to create your own boy band software, which was really funny. Tam Jeed here did a little segment called Story Corner.
Hey guys, welcome back to Story Corners. My name is Tamchi, and this week we're gonna watch grades made by Turtle Animator 21. Let's just jump into it.
Why do work hard on the ceiling?
So there's an example of another kind of segment that we've been doing, which is digital storytelling, right? Where you look at little interesting stories that people have made and then kind of peel apart the code and try to find out what it is that... how they did some of the techniques, like how did we make this guy shake inside the video, and how do you record voice stuff properly? So that kind of stuff is really interesting as well. Bentley here, I had him do a little project that was kind of a one-off for me that turned out to be very popular. You guys might remember the funny Zoom video from about 6 months ago where in a court case someone was dressed up like a cat using a cat filter.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the viral cat filter in the Zoom meetings and the Google Meet meetings.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
So there's an example again of the kind of videos we've been making here. We also had another student making Minecraft mod reviews.
Ask yourself, geez, I wish I could get home a little faster. Well, worry no more.
And we had someone else doing Scratch game reviews. And Ben, one of our most trustworthy competitor members, who's just done tons of work for us and is still volunteering for Chromeworks, did a series on the history of video games called Time Travelers.
Hey guys, welcome to the first ever episode of Time Travelers, where we're going to be jumping through time, taking a look at various video games and the consoles to see how...
Anyway, so that's one of the things that Ben's been working on for us. Here's another project that...
Let's change it to sans serif.
Here's someone looking at just doing a coding tutorial. One of the other things our co-op students were doing was working on Scratch basics tutorials, how to do simple little things, making little 2 or 3 minute videos and working on them in Scratch. I had a comment here from Chu, who was asking, can I be one of your students? Well, anyone who's watching here can be one of my students, and you can also contribute video content as well. We've had some of our students contributing video content to our channel as well, and I'd happily have anyone aboard. So just reach out and contact me. You can join us on Discord. You can find the information on the website, or you can just email me for information. Sorry, did someone want to say something? Go ahead, Deck.
Chu joined the Discord.
Oh, he did. Excellent. He already sent the information. Okay. Well, I'll get him the permission and stuff in a little bit. Where I don't have time to work on that right now. But actually, let me see. Did he leave a message for me and introduce yourself? Yeah, he did. Let me actually add him right now. Chu, I'm giving you a role here, and you should be able to join us in the Discord if you want to say hello. All right. Anyway, so while we're waiting for Chu to get back to us, let me just get back to what I was doing before. So, oh, just one moment here. I've got too many buttons to push. One of the things I'm really thinking about this year is getting a real-life venue where people who are co-op students in Ottawa can actually help me and be pushing the buttons and be doing the directing work for me right on the spot. So I'm trying to get a classroom from the Ottawa Carleton School Board and basically set up my gear in it and then use it as a laboratory for co-op students and other students to come in and learn about technology. So that's one of the things I'm really working on right now,
also add stuff to your text using the...
Well, anyway, so many different things we can do with our co-op program here. I'm looking for your ideas, guys, people out there in the world, about what you would like to see more of from Chromeworks. Have you been watching some of the material that our co-op students have been making? I would love to have your ideas for what you think. I've got a little video here from Bashir, one of our former co-op students, just talking about his experiences working with Chromeworks, and I just thought I'd play that for you right now.
Hi, I'm Ishan.
Oh, Ishan, sorry.
At Chromeworks. I work as the director of organizations. I manage projects and deadlines, hand out jobs, and help out. I also have a weekly series called Ishan's Music Camp, where I make beginner-level music tutorials. Another series that I make videos for is Scratch Basics. During my time at Chromeworks, I learned many valuable skills such as computer coding, communication, video editing, management, leadership, organization, and so much more. Having Chromeworks as a co-op placement has helped me identify what I want to get into in post-secondary education, computer science. There's something new to learn every day, which is what differentiates this job from normal paperwork desk jobs. You'll never get bored, and best of all, you get to work from home. Mr. Tomek is a really nice mentor with good intentions who gives splendid feedback on your project, and when you work alongside him, you'll learn a lot about how the real world works. All in all, a 5-star experience from me.
All right, thank you, Ishan, for that. That actually really touched me a lot to hear him say nice things about Chromeworks. So, by the way, if any of you guys are in grade 11 or 12 and have access to a co-op program, you don't have to be just in Ottawa to be a co-op student for me, and you don't necessarily have to be a co-op student to create content for me. Get in touch with me, and I will get you guys making videos, and we will run them on the live stream, and we'll run them separately. I'm interested in forming like a little coding and technology TV network here, and what I want is lots and lots of people helping me, contributing content, and learning how to make better videos and learning how to code better. And that's what I'm all about. So looking forward to hearing from you guys. Once again, join me on Discord, or you can email me at info@chromeworks.ca. Where's my little thing? I thought I had a little... Oh, there it is. info@chromeworks.ca if you're looking to contact me. All right, so I just want to check the chat one more time and make sure that there's nothing interesting going on there. Doesn't look like it. All right, guys, so I really appreciate you joining me again. It's 11 o'clock, so I think we've probably taken enough of your time up here today. It's nice to be back from Stockholm. I'm going to be doing at least a couple more live streams. I do have to take an emergency trip to my hometown of Vancouver in a couple of weeks to look after my mom, who's not doing very well right now. And so I'm probably going to miss one more live stream early in October. And after that, we're going to be going great guns and coming out with a new episode every week. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll hang around in the Discord for a few more minutes to chat with people. Otherwise, thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.